Hi, everyone. We have author Latoya Washington here, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself.
Yes, I am Latoya Washington. I was born and raised in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It's a very small town. Um, Raised by my mother and my stepfather. Married now. I don't have any children, but I have a lot of kids that I interact with. Me and hubby. Um, Been writing since I was a kid. I would do like little short stories and stuff, little poems. Sometimes when my friends were kind of feeling down, I would write little letters to kind of make them laugh or leave little notes to kind of cheer them up a little bit. Um, didn't really see it blossoming to this point where now I'm an actual author, but I'm grateful to God for that. And it's just I enjoy writing. To me, it's very therapeutic for me. Many of the writings in this book, as you can see here, the book here, all of this is 10 years of writings. So it was through the highs and lows of my life over the past 10 years. And so it helped me through a lot of things. So writing helped me through depression and stuff like that. It's Broken Vessels, Letters to Abba, is all the letters that I wrote to the Lord. Each letter was a moment of transparency to God, especially when I was going through divorce. I was married before, and now I'm married to my second husband. But when I was going through divorce, many of the poems were during that time, and it was really tough. It was really tough um, when you have to cut away from someone that you thought you would be with for the rest of your life. So going through that, I would write a lot. Would write a lot.
Okay. And are you working on another book?
Yes, I am working on another book. I'm taking my time with this one because it's very detailed about my personal life. With this, the first book is a lot of metaphors and stuff like that with the poems that I was using to describe some of the challenges in my life. But this one is even more transparent. In the back of this book too, there's a few short stories that I talk about that'll probably be covered in the next book. There's one little short story where I talk about how I really wanted those throw pillows, and I use that as a way to describe how sometimes if we're not careful, we'll just grab anything because it seems to match, instead of just waiting patiently for the Lord to give us who we need to be with or where we need to go. So I'm excited for that. I'm taking my time with it though.
Nice. And are you self-published?
No, my publisher, Gospel for You Publishing through Joanna Burchett. She's based out of Carlisle, and her company, they worked with me in regards to the graphics of the book and putting everything together. So they really helped me through the process. Definitely, Gospel for You Publishing, and Joanna Burchett. I'm really very grateful for them working with me.
Okay. And where can we purchase your book?
On our website, me and my husband have a small business as well where we sell t-shirts with a biblical message, and that is Rhema Creations. That's RHEMA CREATIONZ.com, as well as the book is on Amazon.com. Um, so grateful for those avenues.
And have you experienced any type of writer's block?
Oh yeah. I went through writer's block for, I would say, like 2 years. Um, and honestly, I just felt like, spiritually, I was going through a lot of things. I was going through, like I said, depression. Um, and it's a long story, but to cut it short, it was a lot of people that I expected to be at things that meant a lot to me. And what happened was is that my expectation of that caused me to go into depression, especially when they let me down. And so it really caused me to start thinking less of myself, meaning, maybe not as loved as I thought I was. Um, and so was not writing. I've always been creative. God has blessed me to be creative, but I started to lack in that area. And I didn't know what was going on. And I knew it was, and now that I know, I'm sorry, it was the depression. And then as soon as I, got healed from that, it was just, things just started flowing and more poems started coming out. Because in this book, there's about, I want to say 60 or 70 pages worth of poems. So, and then the rest is just a short story. So things just really started to flow. Um, but yeah, it was for like 2 years. It was really tough. But it was just that one thing, had to just like let go of, and then things just really started to flow.
Okay. Well, I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Yes. And tell us what's your social media handles?
Well, we're on Instagram, Instagram under Rhema Creations. And on Facebook, I'm under Latoya Washington. That's the Facebook that I use, as well as Rhema Creations is on Facebook as well.
And is there anything else that you would like to tell us about your book?
Well, I would say that the book is definitely dedicated to people who have been, overlooked, abused, misused, misunderstood, those who have dealt with depression and or dealing with it and don't feel as though there's a way out. I really know that this book, truly, the Lord blessed me to share my heart to help other different men and women who have been through some of these things.
Yes. Well, thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And how do you think being a writer has helped you as a person?
Oh wow. I think with the pen, I feel like there's no restrictions. Like I have like notebooks all over my house. My husband's always buying me notebooks, and I'm getting notebooks because I just feel like I flow freely with the pen. There's no one interrupting. It's just my thoughts just going, 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 and going. And so it just feels free, being able to write.
Okay.
And that freedom has helped me to just embrace who I am in the Lord and embrace the genuineness of who I am. And I don't have to be like anybody else. And that has really helped me to just be me. Yeah.
Okay. Now, you don't have to, but I would love if you could bless us with one of your poems.
Sure, sure.
Yay.
Let me see. And a lot of people keep saying this is their favorite one too. It is the waves. Um, this was one of my favorites too. So I will read that one to everyone.
Okay.
It says, the ocean of life keeps crashing into me, but the captain of this ship is guiding life for me. My savior, my king, his hands on the wheel. And with each crashing wave, the spirit reveals that he is in charge, he is in control. So I proudly proclaim and won't let go. I'm going to ride the waves and keeping my head above distractions and looking beyond the pain. As long as he is with me, I'll be okay. I'm going to ride the waves, for the Red Sea is in front of me and Pharaoh behind me. Mountains on the side of me, I can no longer hide. But my Savior is in front of me, ready to ride, guiding and leading me to the other side. I will walk across dry land as he holds my hand. I'll proudly proclaim and take a stand. I'm going to ride the waves, keeping my head above the distractions and looking beyond the pain. As long as he is with me, be okay. I'm going to continue to ride the waves.
Nice. That is beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, do you have any tips for any aspiring authors out there?
Yes, I would say take your time. I know sometimes there's a lot of demands. I don't know if people work with publishers and have these contracts and things like that, but just take your time and not lose sight of who you are. What was the passion that keeps you writing and the passion that keeps you moving forward. Who your audience is, who do you really want to reach, and just staying genuine to yourself. I didn't have many authors out there that I knew that were poets. I knew of Maya Angelou. I love Jill Scott and her writings and stuff like that. But we didn't have that many poets, and especially in our community. So to learn that I can be my genuine self was beautiful. Maya Angelou was herself. She didn't try to be like anybody else. So just remaining authentic, I would say I know a lot of times we worry about how much money we're going to get with these book sales, but I also think about whose life are we touching
Mhm.
when they read our book? You know, when they read your book, is their life changed a little bit? Do we change their perspective a little bit? So that's what I would suggest for writers out there.
Yes, you got me with the one poem. So as soon as we get off, I'll be purchasing the book.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Yes, thank you.
All right, everyone. That was author Latoya Washington telling us about her book. Make sure you go out and purchase a copy, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our videos below.